Welcome back to the South African Morning this Thursday. I'm Gareth Edwards. Tumelo is still away for a few more days. As we head up to 23 after 7, let's take a look at how we can all do more with COVID-19, especially the experts and what they can do to assist. The innovative Pharmaceutical Association of South Africa says it's committed to partnering with government to fight COVID-19. It says some member companies are at the forefront of developing effective treatments. Let's find out how this all works and get some more details, shall we, from the association's Chief Operating Officer. There he is, Bada Pharasi. Mr. Pharasi, good morning to you. I'm sure everyone would ask and thank anyone who can get involved in the fight against COVID-19. But how is your organization going to assist in the fight?
Good morning, Gareth, and good morning to your listeners. Thanks for having me. First of all, IPASA, the Innovative Pharmaceutical Association of South Africa, is a voluntary organization that consists of 26 members. And we are all brought together by the fact that the companies are involved in research and development for the production of innovative medicines. And importantly, what they do is based on the protection of intellectual property. Now, it's not as if we're about to start working with government. From the onset of the lockdown, as soon as it was announced that the world was being beset by this pandemic, our member companies started working together with government. First of all, this was done through BUSA. We are an affiliate of BUSA, and we did it through Business for South Africa. But globally, normally it takes years and years and years and billions of dollars for a product to be brought to the market. The innovative pharmaceutical industry realized that this time there had to be haste in getting something to the market. And that's exactly what happened. We do have locally 3 of our member companies who are involved globally and who locally have reached out to government to supply vaccines. We have AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and Pfizer. So we are involved, we've been involved in the fight against COVID with government from the word go. And it's not only in the production and supply of vaccines. We are also involved in therapeutics, medical devices, and all other, personal protective equipment. Our member companies have ensured that we supply all of those. And one thing I must also say is that while the focus has been on COVID-19, with people staying away from hospitals initially, and the entire supply chain being disrupted, we had to ensure that those people who suffer from chronic conditions still continue to get their medicines. And although under very careful conditions to ensure that the lives of our members were not affected, we did manage to get all sorts of chronic medications into the hospitals and clinics.
Bada, talk to me a little bit about this partnering, this commitment to partner with government. What is government requiring from you? Because you mentioned that a number of your member companies are dealing with the vaccines like AstraZeneca, J&J, and also Pfizer. Just tell me about this partnership between you and government. Who approached who, and who is doing what for who?
Well, initially, individual companies did approach government to say, hey, this pandemic is upon us. We do have the vaccines. Can we start talking about how we can make them available to the government? But this was after, through BUSA and Business for South Africa, we had already joined everybody else in ensuring that there were PPAs, and we started looking at how to plan for the distribution of vaccines. Government has been quite receptive, I must say, and our member companies individually are working closely with government. We have also ensured that as far as possible, we get involved in letting the public and healthcare professionals know that we all need to be vaccinated. It doesn't help for just a small portion of the country being vaccinated, because if we are not all safe, if just a few people are safe, nobody is going to be safe. So we've done a lot of communication as well to ensure that the public gets to know the importance of being vaccinated.
Let's talk a little bit about timelines, if we could, Bada, for the moment. So you're saying that government approached a number of your member companies. Government is receptive to the assistance. If I use one word from your organization's name, Innovative Pharmaceutical Association, what is the innovative way that you think you can help in the rollout of the vaccine? The slow rollout being heavily criticized. How do you think you can speed that up alongside government?
Let me first go back to the meaning of innovative. Innovative in the sense that we based all that we do on innovation. We do research and development, and it's based on intellectual property to ensure that even for the next pandemic, as long as intellectual property is protected, our member companies and any other innovators will be able to come to the fore with new products to ensure that the world is saved, or at least more people are able to work and livelihoods are saved. We have all sorts of ways in which we can work with government, and some of them are still being discussed with government, of course, and we believe that there's still a lot that we can do. In the private sector, for instance, for quite some time, there has been this kind of, shall I say, silo in that government tended to work on its own and the private sector on its own. But this pandemic has shown that government together with the private sector can do a lot together. And this actually bodes quite well for national health insurance, because it has shown that together, government and the private sector can do a lot together to ensure that we build our healthcare system so that everybody benefits from this.
Mr. Pharasi, while I do understand that the national health sector is going to appreciate all the help I can get, what I'm trying to understand is, as far as the vaccines, which you mentioned your member companies are involved in, AstraZeneca, J&J and Pfizer, how are you helping? Are you able to help with the key question around the country of the vaccine rollout? Clearly, companies that you're talking about and are involved with have access to this. They understand how the mechanisms work. I'm asking about delivery in this. I'm sure you're aware of the criticism on government about the rollout. Are you able to help? And if so, how?
We've reached out to government. Companies have signed contracts with government. As you know, some of the supplies are waiting. The J&J vaccine in particular is waiting at the Aspen facility in Gqeberha, and those vaccines will be rolled out as soon as word gets to SAHPRA, the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority, from the US FDA to say this batch is safe, you can go ahead and use it. We've done all we can. We've got our supplies ready for supply to government. All government has to do is really roll out. And in addition to supplying the vaccines, we are also prepared to help in the distribution.
Okay, well, I'm going to say thank you for the moment. Bada Pharasi from the Innovative Pharmaceutical Association of South Africa here on